Welcome. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of corrosion and rusting. These are processes that affect metals all around us, from bridges and cars to household tools. Corrosion is a natural process that gradually destroys materials, especially metals, through chemical reactions with their environment. Understanding corrosion is important because it helps us protect valuable structures and objects from damage. In this video, we'll explore what corrosion is, how it happens, and why it matters in everyday life. Let's begin by looking at the basic concept of corrosion and how it differs from rusting. Corrosion is the gradual destruction of materials, usually metals, due to chemical reactions with their surroundings. It's a process that can occur in many environments such as air, water, or soil. The most common example is the rusting of iron, but corrosion can affect many other metals as well. This process not only weakens the material but can also lead to significant economic losses and safety hazards. By understanding what corrosion is, we can better appreciate the importance of preventing it in our daily lives. Corrosion happens when metals react with substances in their environment, such as oxygen, water, acids, or salts. For example, when iron is exposed to moisture and air, it reacts with oxygen to form iron oxide, which we commonly call rust. Other metals like copper or aluminum also corrode but may form different compounds. The presence of pollutants or chemicals can speed up the corrosion process. Understanding these causes helps us find ways to slow down or prevent corrosion from damaging important structures. You might not realize it, but corrosion is all around us. From the rust on a garden tool left outside to the tarnish on silverware, these are all examples of corrosion in action. Even large structures like bridges, pipelines, and ships are constantly battling corrosion. If left unchecked, corrosion can lead to expensive repairs or even dangerous failures. That's why engineers and scientists work hard to find ways to protect materials from corroding, ensuring safety and saving money. Rusting is a specific type of corrosion that happens to iron and its alloys like steel. When iron reacts with oxygen and water, it forms a reddish-brown substance called rust. This process not only changes the appearance of the metal but also weakens it over time. Rusting is the most familiar form of corrosion, and it's why we often see old fences, cars, or tools turning orange or brown. Let's explore how rusting actually takes place and why it's such a common problem. Rusting involves a chemical reaction between iron, oxygen, and water. When iron comes into contact with moisture in the air, it reacts with oxygen to form iron oxide or rust. This reaction is accelerated by the presence of salts or acids, which is why metal objects near the sea or in polluted areas rust faster. The process is a classic example of an oxidation-reduction reaction, where iron loses electrons and oxygen gains them. Understanding this chemistry helps us develop better ways to prevent rust. It's important to note that while all rusting is corrosion, not all corrosion is rusting. Corrosion is a broad term that refers to the breakdown of any material, especially metals, due to chemical reactions. Rusting, on the other hand, specifically refers to the corrosion of iron and its alloys. Other metals, like copper or aluminum, corrode in different ways and form different compounds. This distinction helps us understand the unique challenges of protecting various materials. Let's look at some real-life examples of corrosion. Copper roofs develop a green patina over time, which is actually a protective layer formed by corrosion. Aluminum forms a thin, hard layer of aluminum oxide that protects it from further damage. Even silver tarnishes, turning black due to a reaction with sulfur compounds in the air. Each metal reacts differently, but the underlying process is the same, a chemical reaction with the environment. Corrosion isn't just a scientific curiosity, it has a huge economic impact. Every year, billions of dollars are spent worldwide on repairing or replacing corroded structures and equipment. Industries like transportation, construction, and manufacturing are especially affected. Preventing corrosion can save money, reduce waste, and improve safety. That's why understanding corrosion is so important for engineers, businesses, and even homeowners. Corrosion can lead to serious safety issues. For example, if a bridge or pipeline corrodes too much, it can become weak and eventually fail, causing accidents or environmental disasters. That's why regular inspections and maintenance are crucial for structures exposed to the elements. By catching corrosion early, we can prevent dangerous situations and keep people safe. There are many ways to prevent or slow down corrosion. One common method is applying protective coatings like paint or varnish to keep moisture and air away from the metal. Another approach is using materials that are less likely to corrode, such as stainless steel or aluminum. Regular cleaning and maintenance also help by removing substances that can cause corrosion. Let's explore these methods in more detail. Applying a protective coating is one of the simplest ways to prevent corrosion. Paint, oil, or special varnishes create a barrier that keeps moisture and oxygen away from the metal surface. This method is widely used for cars, bridges, and household tools. However, coatings can wear off over time, so regular inspection and reapplication are necessary to maintain protection. Galvanization is a process where a thin layer of zinc is applied to iron or steel to protect it from corrosion. Zinc acts as a sacrificial metal, corroding in place of the iron. This method is commonly used for outdoor structures like fences, streetlights, and playground equipment. Galvanized metals last much longer and require less maintenance than untreated metals. Some metals are naturally more resistant to corrosion. Stainless steel, for example, contains chromium, which forms a thin, invisible layer that protects the metal from rusting. Other alloys like bronze or brass also resist corrosion better than pure metals. Using these materials in construction and manufacturing helps extend the life of products and structures. Cathodic protection is a technique used to prevent corrosion by making the metal structure the cathode of an electrochemical cell. This is often done by attaching a more easily corroded sacrificial metal like magnesium or zinc to the structure. The sacrificial metal corrodes instead, protecting the main structure. This method is widely used for pipelines, ships, and underground tanks. Controlling the environment around a metal can also help prevent corrosion. For example, reducing humidity, removing salt, or controlling temperature can slow down the corrosion process. In industrial settings, dehumidifiers or special ventilation systems are often used to protect sensitive equipment. These measures are especially important in places with harsh weather or high pollution. Regular maintenance is key to preventing corrosion. This includes inspecting structures for signs of damage, cleaning off dirt or chemicals, and repairing any protective coatings. Early detection of corrosion allows for quick repairs, preventing more serious problems down the line. Maintenance is an ongoing process that helps keep everything from cars to bridges in good condition. Water is a major cause of corrosion, especially for metals exposed to rain, humidity, or submerged in water. Salt water in particular accelerates corrosion due to the presence of dissolved salts. That's why ships, boats, and offshore structures require special protection. Understanding how water affects metals helps us design better ways to prevent corrosion in marine environments. Air, especially when it contains moisture, can also cause corrosion. Pollutants like sulfur dioxide or carbon dioxide can react with metals, forming acids that speed up the process. Urban environments with high pollution levels often see faster corrosion of buildings and vehicles. That's why air quality control and protective coatings are so important in cities. Metals buried in soil like pipelines or underground tanks are also at risk of corrosion. Soil contains moisture, salts, and microorganisms that can react with metals. Special coatings, cathodic protection, and careful material selection are used to protect underground structures. Regular monitoring is essential to prevent leaks or failures. Industries like oil and gas, chemical manufacturing, and power generation face significant challenges from corrosion. Equipment exposed to harsh chemicals or extreme conditions is especially vulnerable. Investing in corrosion-resistant materials and regular maintenance helps industries avoid costly shutdowns and accidents. Corrosion management is a critical part of industrial safety and efficiency. Vehicles, airplanes, and ships are constantly exposed to conditions that cause corrosion. Road salt, rain, and humidity can all damage metal parts. Manufacturers use special paints, coatings, and materials to protect vehicles from rust and corrosion. Regular washing and maintenance are also important for keeping transportation safe and reliable. Buildings and infrastructure are vulnerable to corrosion, especially in areas with high humidity or pollution. Steel beams, rebar in concrete, and metal roofs can all corrode over time. Protective coatings, proper design, and regular inspections help keep buildings safe and extend their lifespan. Corrosion control is a key part of modern construction. Corrosion also affects art and historical artifacts. Ancient statues, coins, and tools made of metal can corrode over centuries. Conservators use special techniques to clean and protect these items, preserving them for future generations. Understanding corrosion helps us appreciate the challenges of maintaining our cultural heritage. Corrosion can have environmental impacts, especially when it leads to leaks of hazardous materials from pipelines or storage tanks. Preventing corrosion helps protect soil, water, and air from pollution. Environmental regulations often require industries to take steps to control corrosion and prevent accidents. Scientists and engineers use various methods to test for corrosion. These include visual inspections, chemical tests, and advanced techniques like X-ray analysis. Testing helps identify early signs of corrosion and evaluate the effectiveness of protective measures. Regular testing is essential for maintaining safety and performance. Ongoing research is helping us understand corrosion better and develop new ways to prevent it. Scientists study the chemistry of corrosion, test new materials, and invent advanced coatings. This research leads to safer, longer-lasting products and structures. The fight against corrosion is a continuous process that benefits everyone. Even electronic devices can suffer from corrosion. Moisture and chemicals can damage metal contacts and circuits, leading to malfunctions. Manufacturers use protective coatings and sealed designs to keep electronics safe. Keeping devices dry and clean helps prevent corrosion-related failures. The food industry uses a lot of metal equipment which must be protected from corrosion to ensure safety and hygiene. Stainless steel is commonly used because it resists corrosion and is easy to clean. Regular maintenance and proper cleaning are essential to prevent contamination and equipment failure. Medical devices and implants made of metal must be highly resistant to corrosion. Materials like titanium and special alloys are used to ensure safety and longevity. Corrosion in medical equipment can lead to serious health risks, so strict standards and testing are required. Corroded metals can often be recycled and reused. Recycling helps reduce waste and saves resources. Before recycling, metals are cleaned and processed to remove corrosion products. This process supports sustainability and reduces the environmental impact of metal production. Even in space, corrosion can be a problem. Spacecraft and satellites are exposed to extreme conditions that can cause materials to degrade. Engineers use special coatings and materials to protect equipment from the harsh environment of space. Research in this area helps improve technology for both space and Earth applications. Innovative solutions are constantly being developed to combat corrosion. From self-healing coatings to smart sensors that detect corrosion early, technology is making it easier to protect materials. These advancements help industries save money, improve safety, and extend the life of products. Teaching people about corrosion is important for raising awareness and promoting prevention. Schools, universities, and training programs include corrosion science in their curricula. Educating engineers, workers, and the public helps ensure that everyone understands the risks and solutions. There are many myths about corrosion, such as the idea that stainless steel never rusts or that only old structures are affected. In reality, all metals can corrode under the right conditions, and even new buildings need protection. Busting these myths helps people take corrosion seriously and invest in proper prevention. Climate change can influence corrosion rates. Increased rainfall, higher temperatures, and more frequent storms can all accelerate corrosion. Understanding these effects helps engineers design structures that can withstand changing environmental conditions. As technology advances, new materials and methods are being developed to fight corrosion. Nanotechnology, for example, is being used to create ultra-thin protective coatings. These innovations promise to make materials even more durable and resistant to environmental damage. From kitchen appliances to bicycles, corrosion can affect many items we use every day. Simple steps like drying items after use, storing them properly, and using protective sprays can help prevent damage. Being aware of corrosion helps us take better care of our belongings. Artists sometimes use corrosion intentionally to create unique textures and colors in their work. Controlled rusting or patination can add character to sculptures and installations. This creative use of corrosion shows that even destructive processes can have artistic value. The fight against corrosion drives innovation in science and engineering. New discoveries in materials science, chemistry, and technology are helping us develop better ways to protect our world. As we continue to learn, we can look forward to safer, longer-lasting structures and products. Let's recap what we've learned. Corrosion is a natural process that affects metals, causing damage and economic loss. Rusting is a specific type of corrosion that affects iron. There are many ways to prevent corrosion, including protective coatings, material selection, and regular maintenance. Understanding corrosion helps us protect our belongings, save money, and stay safe. As we move forward, research and innovation will continue to improve our ability to fight corrosion. New materials, smarter sensors, and better coatings are on the horizon. Staying informed and proactive is the best way to protect our world from the effects of corrosion. Corrosion and rusting may seem like simple processes, but they have a big impact on our lives. By understanding how they work and how to prevent them, we can protect our possessions, infrastructure, and environment. Remember, a little knowledge goes a long way in the fight against corrosion. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the concepts of corrosion and rusting. We hope you now have a better understanding of these important processes and how they affect the world around us. Stay curious and keep learning about the science that shapes our everyday lives. Remember, preventing corrosion starts with awareness and action. Whether it's taking care of your bike, maintaining your car, or protecting large structures, every effort counts. Stay proactive and you'll help ensure a safer, longer-lasting world for everyone.